Peace and love, tribe. Peace and love. For those of you who don't know, my name is Cashmere Carter from the Real Deal Podcast. If you haven't already, please go and subscribe on YouTube and follow LunaTheMoodyLion here on Instagram. I am back here with you today. Excuse me, I'm trying to adjust my lighting. But yes, I'm here back with you today to interview with this fellow being named, one second, tribe. I don't know where I'm getting this from. But yes, with this fellow being who is an artist and philanthropist. His name is Ray. So let's get him on here. So he can tell us more about himself, you guys. Yeah, I know I'm like an old lady, so I'm still trying to figure out how exactly to get him on here. You're light. Well, hopefully he just tunes in, and then I'll be able to add him on here. Peace, tribe. But his Instagram is Lightneverswitch. He's a musician, as I said. You can find him on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, as well as his Instagram, Lightneverswitch. So while we're waiting for him to tune in, I'm gonna give y'all some more time to share this live with some more people so we can get some more audience. Requested, I'm using my alt because of my Insta. Okay. There.
Hello.
How you doing, Ray?
Doing good. How about yourself?
I'm pretty groovy.
Awesome.
So, Ray, tell us more about yourself before I dive in. Just a summary
Um,
of what it is you do and what you're about.
for sure. I do music. I kind of mostly at the moment, I do it very recreationally, as a form, an outlet, but I know where I'm headed with it. I have a plan, a purpose, I'm not just messing around. Originally, that's how it was, but very recently I've started distributing and putting things out there, and working with a lot of really cool, positive people. I basically, for the last 9 weeks, and this will be the 10th week in a row, I've done something called the hashtag On 10 challenge, which is what I created after I released the song On 10, where I go around.
It seems like we have lost connection. Hopefully you get some service soon. Hey, Dre, baby. I hope you're having a wonderful Thursday. That's what I was about to do before I got distracted. He's back.
Okay,
We're back.
fixes the issue. I have really good connection, so I don't know. You know, Insta really be having lots of issues all the time. I
Yeah.
don't know if you guys deal with that, but I deal with it all the time.
Yeah. Well, I know you were telling me that you originally started music because it was an outlet for you, right? More like a meditation, therapeutic. So then my ask, what inspired you to start taking it more seriously?
I think I always really wanted to do that, you know, and I think the biggest thing for me is what inspired me to take it more seriously was the ability to meet really cool, positive people who are also taking it seriously. And I have had that opportunity to finally, I don't know if anybody else, doing music will see this for sure, probably, and they probably experience being in group chats or groups where there's a lot of negativity, a lot of sadness, a lot of anger and rage and repression. And recently, I've moved through those different people to finally reach my people, my tribe, where it's called Bozzy World, and we basically are all about positivity. We never put anyone down. We never, judge anybody's cringe. Our cringe is beautiful, so that's where we're at, and I'm really happy to be there. So that's really what motivated me.
Okay. I love that. Speaking of cringe, tell me what's your cringe? Define cringe.
My cringe, honestly, if you look at my account, you'll notice that I have no sort of plan of how I post things. It all just happens. I just let it out. I just let it go. I mean, I have a video of me where I was kind of drinking and I was screaming really, really, really loud at the world in the streets. And I've done that many times, but not recorded it, and for me, it's just important to put out there that, like, I'm a normal person and I've got, mental issues just like, the next guy. I've got,
Whoa.
what's that?
I said, whoa.
Yeah, I mean, I think, it's crazy to say, but I think most of this world is just undiagnosed when it really comes down to it. I think we all have some sort of disconnection or some sort of chemical imbalance, things like that from the foods we've been raised on eating, from the just people around us that have kind of projected onto us, their issues, their problems, and we've taken that and adopted that identity. So, I think we all
So
have, not
don't
saying
you
that
think
meditation is the
so
answer,
don't you think
but
you're adopting don't you think that's what you're doing? Adopting that and such by taking what has been projected on you and projecting it onto others by saying everyone is undiagnosed and has mental issues? Isn't that doing the same
I
thing
guess,
that's been done to you?
and this is where language, and I had recently come upon this is where language is the issue, because I think a lot of people will understand what I'm saying, that I'm not trying to put anyone down or saying, see, issue is the wrong word, diversity, right, is not a bad thing. My mom is blind, and she actually doesn't want to be fixed. I actually asked her one time. I told her, I was like, they're making the brain chip now, and they'll be able to fix your eye. And she's like, I don't want to be fixed. I just want to be accepted. So, language is a touchy thing, and I apologize if anybody feels like I'm trying to put them down or say that they're this and that. I'm not. It's just my opinion, how I feel.
And we all are entitled to our opinions.
What is that?
I said we all are entitled to our opinions. So no one is
Oh,
judging you
absolutely,
for your opinion. You have the right to say whatever it is that you would like to say here. That's what this platform is for. So
for sure.
then now it seems that you're a very passionate guy. Where outside of music, where does your passion go? How is it you spend a lot of your time? I see that you're a philanthropist. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, so I mean, right now I just work on I just work, I work a 5 p.m. to 12:30 basis, 5 days a week. And I really do believe in tithing. I really took that upon myself, adopted that from being raised Christian. I really believe that, like, if we all just lived and acted in a way that if everyone did that, we would live in a utopia, perfect world, then that's what's perfect. You should always try to act in a way, in my opinion, that if everyone did it, it would be wonderful. So I take a little bit of what I got, about 10% or more, and I put it back into the community in some way. I've recently given to a women's shelter. I had to walk all the way out there. I don't have a car at the moment. I took the bus and everything, but I probably walked like 8 to 16 miles that day. But I finally got to the women's shelter, and I gave them some writing supplies and notebooks and all of this for their children starting school soon. But that's just one thing, and another time I volunteered at this food bank where I helped 80 families. We took one lady off the streets, put her in a rehab facility, and that was all in one day. And it's like those type of things are what I live for every week. Volunteering and giving back was what saved me. It is what gives me this ability to, throughout the week, I can be at my lowest of low. And at the end of the week, when I finally can do that, I know the volunteering is coming. I know the On 10 challenge is coming. So I stay grounded on 10, And so that, it meant a lot to me. And that's kind of it. You can look past in my Instagram, things like that. I'm trying to organize YouTube, TikTok, things like that. It's a little hard for me personally, but as far as Instagram goes, I got my On 10 challenges on there where I'm out there doing something. This week I've got a really good one coming. I don't want to spoil the surprise, but On 10 challenge week 10.
Well, tell us a little bit about what you're working on right now. You don't have to spoil the surprise, but just give us a sneak peek into what it is you're working on right now.
All right. Well, let's just say that how in giving to like organizations of charity, things like that, they always take a percentage for themselves to feed their workers, right? To give their workers this and that. Well, I'm trying to bypass the middleman, and I'm going to go straight to the people that I want to help and hand the money to them. That's all I can say about it.
Have you thought of starting your own nonprofit organization or fund?
Absolutely. That's definitely a part of the plan. I have a lot of ideas, and one of the things that was hard for me is, they say money is the root of all evil, and for a long time, I believed that so hard that I was afraid of money. So afraid of it because I'm afraid of evil. I don't want to be associated with evil. But then I learned it was just a tool. All money is a tool. So, evil is being done with it, but good is being done with it too. So now I go and I get that money, and I'm trying to funnel it into the right resources, So, yeah, definitely I'd like to start an organization. I have an idea for a website. I'll share this real quick. I have an idea for a website where you basically make an account, you verify yourself, your identity and all of that, and it's all like got the permits and licenses and things like that, and it's full of petitions. Petitions can put their petition on there, and instead of now you having to sign up for each petition individually, whether it's climate change or foster children or women, rights, things like that, now you can just one click sign, and all those petitions are going to our government officials who have to take them seriously. They have no choice, and so now it gives people more the ability than rather than people being outside with clipboards. You just go to this website, you share the website, one click sign, and you're doing something good.
Nice. Yeah, especially with how you said with the online process of being able to verify your identity in that one spot, because that's of course a part of petitions. You have to be a resident in that area and such. So that is super smart. I love that.
Thank you.
Well, I know that's soon to come. Well, tell me, have you reached any challenges so far on your journey?
Absolutely.
Whether it's musically or...
Absolutely. Musically, definitely. It was hard for me to put my music out originally because I didn't feel like it was good enough. I didn't feel like it was wholly me and what I wanted to put out there. And to be honest, I have some music out there that's not wholly me, that's not exactly what I want to put out there, but it's okay. That's what a discography, that's what background and lore is all about. So I recommend to anyone to just put it out there, regardless of whether you're like, oh, I don't want people to think this or that. They're gonna think this or that anyway, no matter what. So you just put it out there and keep building and keep growing. And the progression is really important. Progression is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So now I've reached this point. My newest song, Neurodivergent, which is out on all platforms, is the best song that I've ever made. I'm so proud of it. I've gotten a lot of love for it. The next two songs I'm working on, I'm very proud of and excited about. But to get to that point, I had to put the other songs out there because that was a part of the process to get to these songs. I wouldn't have these songs if I didn't put those other songs out there that I believe are a little more inadequate. Not all of my songs, by the way. I do have some good ones, and there are parts in there that really do reflect myself and my beliefs and things like that, but there's also parts in there that just reflect, I feel like, anger and repression and ego that I don't really align with, but that's okay. That's the process, you know?
So then tell me, Ray, what defines success to you? What is success? Because you seem like you're pretty at peace with life and you have a good understanding of life. So what is success to you?
Well, I'm glad that I appear that way. I will say that I'm really good with words. I'm a poet, I'm a wordsmith. So of course, you know, I'm going to appear that way. I'll say I'm dealing with crazy challenges. I am depressed constantly. I am mad, angry at the world, sad at the state of things going on constantly. But success to me is pushing through your fears. Whatever your fears are, when you walk through those fears, that's success. That's success, because this whole world, in my opinion, anything that the negativity, all of those negative things are fear-based. It's all about fear. And, you know, it's all about these people, they want to, these people, see, there I go again with the fear. It's not about these people, it's about yourself, you know, and like I said, success is just, to me, I think just pushing through your fears, whatever that is. I jumped out of planes personally myself. I'm a veteran of the Army, and I'm afraid of heights, super afraid of heights. And so people tell me, I would never do that. I'm so afraid. I said, me too. So what makes us different? I'm just as afraid of you of heights, but I did it. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's kind of crazy, you know? To me, that is a very successful thing. And it's kind of the same thing with putting that music out there or going out there and volunteering. I saw someone today actually say, you know, what helps me de-stress is volunteering. And then someone commented and said, well, volunteering actually makes me very stressed. And I was like, okay, I couldn't really relate to that, but I mean, okay, so volunteering makes them stressed. I was like, but if you get past that and you do that, I mean, that's pretty beautiful. It's actually like stronger than someone who's not stressed doing it. I would appreciate and respect that person more for pushing through that, you know, to help those people. I think that's very strong and wonderful.
So then if that's your answer to success, then why is it when I had just asked you, how is it that I said? Because I complimented you saying like you sound like you have a good understanding of life, and when I said that doesn't mean that you have your life together, but more so that you have an understanding of what it means to be human, that you have an understanding of ups and downs and so forth. But you shied away from that compliment and was like, oh no, I'm still depressed and so forth, which is very valid. But because we're human, you're not supposed to be perfect. You're not supposed to be happy every day. Then in that case, you'd probably be some robot or something, right? So why discredit yourself as if you're less than all because you're not happy every day, when you're saying that although you're not happy every day, or you may not be as your strongest self, but you're still putting your best foot forward to still go out and accomplish your goals and to serve this world, right?
You're absolutely right. And I do have the habit of doing that every once in a while. I am trying to get past that. I guess I just don't want to appear to people that I'm trying to say that I'm better than them ever, because I've definitely felt beaten down by people saying that personally, that it's so easy for them, or that they've always had it, or that they never struggled because they're, you know, so strong. And so it made it, to me, just seem like, dang, well, I've struggled, so I must have already lost. You know, there was times where I was weak and I gave in to temptations, so I must have already lost. But, you know, just like you're saying, and I think this is where language, right? The English language is, whew, you know, so I absolutely agree with you. I think that's the best thing that I could say right now with the English language, you know?
So then, Ray, I'm gonna let you go after this. I want to know, well, because it seems like your life is so tied closer to your work. So how do you maintain that work-life balance?
So, I actually just recently started another job. I was working construction before this, and I'll share something that actually is a little hard for me to share. I was actually homeless 3 weeks ago. Or about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I've been homeless many times in my life, and it all stems from basically, stress, but the way that I maintain it is I think that I think the strongest thing that helped me was just to keep going. Stagnancy for me has always been death. Whenever I sit alone and just recluse myself, in privacy, and eventually I start to get into this point where I'm just in loops, in the same loop over and over and over again, and it takes me out. It takes me out every time. So now, instead of doing that, with my personal relationship with my higher power, in communication with my higher power, I basically found that as long as I keep going, it will come to me. But I have to meet it halfway. I can't just expect it to come to me. I have to go out there and it will come. And it always does. Something good is always there. I saw something very great the other day. There's this account on Instagram that's really wonderful. He's called Unk Pappy, and he basically was talking about like how in traffic, you can look for all the people that are cutting you. One person cuts you off, and you go, "Oh, look, there it is, freaking traffic always cut me off, this and that." But you never hear someone say, "Oh, look, someone let me through. That's so nice." They just don't say anything about that, but they're so focused and attached to these negative realities, And so it's a choice. It's absolutely a choice, put your best foot forward. Like you said, I completely agree. And so I keep doing that. I keep moving. I keep going forward. That's one of the things, like I said, with the On 10 challenge, volunteering, I know that every week I'm going to be doing something. And so even at my lowest spots, I can think to that and I can go, okay, I'm going to get there. It's right there. All I got to do is survive. I just got to drink water and eat and, find some sort of stimulation for my brain and my soul and my spirit, praying, meditating, breathing. Breathing is a big thing. That was a hard one for me. Sometimes just taking in deep breaths and holding it, having that power and control over something that is so beautiful and perfect, which is breath, prana. And kind of going off a little bit now, but yeah.
No. Well then, Ray, how is it? What is that? Well, what exactly is it you're hoping is it that you're hoping your content impacts your audience, like both now and in the long term? What is it that you're ultimately hoping to get across?
I just hope that I send a message to people to basically just put it all out there, good or bad, and receive the feedback. Be okay with it. It's okay if people are angry or mad when, you put something out there. I just want people to stop hiding. I feel like a lot of people on this app, they're trying to be ads. Have two accounts. Don't get me wrong. There's an algorithm here. There's things you got to do to move up in these ranks. I've had to fight Instagram many times where it's deleted my account and it said, "Oh, you can request and a thing will have 30 days." I request it and it immediately puts me back on. And I'm like, how did someone review me in 1 second of me going back in there? So why is it trying to stifle or stop me? And all that's really shown me is that I think that I'm doing something that they're afraid of. I think I'm getting people outside and moving their feet and, all of that. So I guess to answer your question, sorry, I go off sometimes. To answer your question, I just want people to stop shying away and to put themselves out there, because I think everyone is beautiful in their own way, perfect in their own way, made in a perfect way. I think that everything that they do, is obviously there are horrible things that, people shouldn't do. I would say that 90% of people who are thinking about posting something or putting something out there, it's not a horrible thing. It might not be the sweetest, nicest thing, but they can learn from that by putting it out there. If they just hold on to it, then they're not going to get that feedback that's going to teach them something. And it's okay to learn. It's okay to learn. That's really what I want to put out there. It's okay to learn. Thank you for helping me get to that. That's what I would say. It's okay to learn.
So Ray, what's one thing you wish you knew when you first started that would have made a difference?
One thing I wish I knew when I first started. Uh, Put yourself around people. Whoever you're around is who you're going to become. Whoever you're around is who you're going to become. So sometimes we don't really have choices of who we're around at the time, but we can look and think to people, books, online. There are people on there that are good, positive, sending positive messages. A lot of things on this app and a lot of apps are negative because it keeps people attached and they feel validated with that negativity when they themselves are being negative, right? And if you're positive, you feel validated by that positivity when you yourself are being positive. So they say, eagles fly with eagles, and so I would recommend just like if there's anybody around you that's super negative and if you feel bad about like leaving them, you don't have to leave them. You can always love someone from afar. You can tell them, listen, come to me when you're ready. I'm always here. And they might be mad, all of that, but it's okay. It's not your responsibility to, take care of everyone, before yourself. You got to take care of yourself in order to take care of others. You're not helping that person by supporting them being negative. So put yourself around positive people. Be an example rather than, a follower. I think that would be my message because it definitely taught me a lot as I started to see it. Right now, this rapper Louisville, he's got this thing Bozzy World, and he brought me into it, and I'm very grateful. It's a wholly positive group, and I'm not saying to necessarily join that group, but find yourself a wholly positive group of people. I would say that, Carter announced right here, as well as you, I would say you two are very positive people. I'd recommend for people to come and hit you guys up and see what's going on.
Right.
So that's my message.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing your energy with us, Ray, your perspectives, your light. I really appreciate it. I wish you the best on your journey. I know much more success is going to come to you. And thank you for all the work that you're doing out there in your community. All right.
Thank you so much. I will continue, and I really appreciate you. You've been such a lovely interviewer. I couldn't ask for better. Thank you.
Mwah. Peace and love, tribe. Peace and love. Thank you
Some
so
love.
much, Ray.
Yep. You guys be easy. Stay safe. Stay blessed.
All right. Well, that was Ray, your light. Go follow him and check him out, you guys. The work he does, his music. I think he said he's available on all platforms. So give him a listen. He has a heart of gold. And as long as you spread love, moving with love, I'm here to support you. And that's right, tribe.